Alright, it's been a long time. I've been waiting on this for a very long time. This is a little special video. And really exciting. Really happy about it. But, yep. Got our C10. I figured I wanted to make this little video here. This is so exciting. This is so exciting. But this is what we got. She's home, fellas, boys and girls. She's finally home. It's our 454, and I haven't quite made my mind up yet. Probably look like I'm crazy here, but I've always said I wanted to take this and put in our C10 here, but I've always said too, it's not quite like I want. It's 99.9999999% of what I want, but the only small little part of it, it's not a tall deck. But not sure if it's a 2-bolt main or if it's a 4-bolt main. I don't know yet. I really, truly do not know. But we are going to find out. That oil pan's coming off. We'll find out. I'm going to say it's a 2-bolt main. That's my guess. And that's what I'm hoping. That is a, I hope I'm wrong. And just really excited. I mean, this thing's clean. This thing's clean. I mean, it's got, a little dust on it, but it is clean. Look at this. Pull this valve cover off here. Paid $1,100 for it. And it took me from February of this year, of 2022, until September of 2022. So it took me, what is that, 9, 8, 7 months? It took me 7 months to pay this thing off. $1,100 now. And look how clean this thing is. I mean, this thing is clean. Very clean. Don't know what kind of rocker arms, if they're long slot or if they're the regular ones. I don't really know a lot about big blocks, so I'll be, got to be careful what we do here. But here is the casting number right here. 140092360. That's what we got. It is a 454. Look how big the intake and exhaust valves are. Holy cow. Look at that. Here's my thumb here. There's my thumb. Good day. That's the exhaust valve. Good day. Look how big they are. Holy cow. I mean, this thing is clean. It's been apart before. You can tell by the head gasket down in there. So it's definitely been apart. I mean, it's not a big deal. But look underneath these valve covers. Somebody could have cleaned them. But I'd say it's been run because it's got oil right there. But this thing is clean. We'll look at our other side here. I mean, this thing is clean. Look at that. There's another cast number. 1409230. So we got both cylinder heads match. Passenger 146. Got CFC GM-1. Oh, it looks like a Chrysler symbol right there, right above, beside the CFC. This thing is clean. A little bit out of focus there. There we go. This thing is very clean. Very clean. I mean, even the valve cover. Look at that. I mean, it ain't no sludge in it. Now, that doesn't mean that somebody could have cleaned the valve covers off and cleaned all the sludge out and just threw them on there. But we made it, a sludge-free engine. But I seriously doubt that. I mean, that thing is very clean. It's too clean. Too clean underneath there. But it's definitely been apart. It's been, the heads have been off of it, that's for sure. You can tell by the head gaskets. You can see that they've been off. It's been apart. And the intake gaskets, you can tell, you know, they're aftermarket intake gaskets, what's left of them. They look like Fel-Pro, the remnants of it. But even inside there, it's fairly clean. Yeah, I mean, it's just dry. There's a little bit of coolant that pulled out. But it's dry all up in there. I mean, a little dirty, but it's not horrible. It's not full of trash, so that's good. And if you're wondering what the block cast number is, it is a 454. There's verifies it right here. 7.4. Apologize, I don't like to turn the camera sideways. It is 7.4. So it is a 454. There it is again, 7.4. And 7, there's a little point right there, 4. This is a 454. It's got the external oil cooler on it. This is going to go. We can get rid of that garbage. If I'm not mistaken, the oil filter adapter that has 2 bolts that goes up inside the block here is the same thing as a small block. So I'm hoping that's all the same it's supposed to be. So we'll get rid of all that. We'll throw an oil filter on here. That should take care of that. I think it takes the same oil filter as a small block. Don't quote me though. But the trash right in here. Not too bad. My 283's got these tube pieces that are cast like that. It's kind of cool. The one that's in my 67 Chevelle, and numbers matching used to be in the 2-door post, but it's not anymore, unfortunately. But see, bolts are, so you can definitely tell the head bolt's been off. Got a little RTV on it, you can see that. So yeah, we'll have to see. Some of the boards look, it's hard to really tell, but they look pretty good. I mean, it's not stuck. All supports. And you can see a little bit. It's been apart, but definitely got the newer freeze plugs in it. So I put them in. Like they're steel. Yeah, that's steel. So we'll change them out to brass. Passenger. The fella I got it off of said it was out of RV. I don't know how true that is, but it says, what do we got down here? It says 44S, and then we have high performance passenger. Huh. Ooh, that boss is going to have to be cleaned out. Ooh, that's not good. Hopefully we can clean that out. I hope so. Yeah, I think it'll clean up. No questionable in there. There's some mud divers in there. But it'll clean up, But the big balancer on it. Got a AC fuel pump on it. See, these don't look original. These have been out too, so. The heads are definitely, I'd say, you know, they look too nice. And it looks like they had exhaust seats put in them. I don't know, I'm just guessing. But it looks like it's got new seats in it. Because if you kind of look at the bottom where the valve is and there the seat is, it looks like its seat is pressed into the cylinder here. See, it's got that little round part there. Right at the end of my finger there. So it might have, and all of them kind of look that way. Might have, yeah, that one you can see a little better. Yeah, a little scale in there. Maybe it'll clean up. It's been sitting, yeah, it looks like it's had new seats pressed into it. Just a casting. Yeah. I would say it's definitely had new exhaust seats put in it for sure. So it's probably had a valve job and all that, so that's good. I hope it's got hardened seats. That'd be awesome. It looks like it. But the only thing that kind of concerns me is the head bolts have been out. It's got RTV on them, so kind of it's a little questionable about that. So that makes me think that it was getting, hopefully it wasn't getting coolant in the oil. The oil looks good. I don't see nothing wrong with it. So, you know, it's a good block, so there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm hoping it wasn't leaking coolant internally, but it's got to come completely apart because, you know, I don't want to do that. But we probably will throw a starter on it, and I'll get a good hot battery. I got an intake, we'll just throw it on. I got an HI distributor and all that. They're supposed to, HI distributor between a small block and big block is supposed to be the same. I'll verify that, except if it's a tall deck, because the tall deck's a little taller, so it's going to take a taller distributor. But, well, a longer distributor anyway. I'll verify that. But, we'll see, make sure if we can get it fired, and I'll just kind of check it out. I'll run it for a few seconds. That's what my plan is. And then if it checks out good, we'll probably just take and it's going to have to come apart. At the bare minimum, I want to put a gasket kit in it, and that way I get a new rear main seal in it, and you know, head gaskets, all that good stuff. And there's nothing wrong with the head gaskets or anything. I don't see anything obvious, but you know, we don't know until we pull it apart. But this kind of concerns me with the RTV on the cylinder head bolts. And that's just where they put the heads together. They just put a little bit about around the threads there and then just torque everything down. That's all that is. But you know, it's not really, you know, the way I want to do it. So we're going to take it apart. The gasket kit's not that much, but I want to get it running first. I don't want to disturb it and just open it up, you know, like that. So we'll have a little fun with it. We'll run it just a little bit, and then we're going to take it, and like I said, we'll put brass freeze plugs in it, or core plugs, wherever you want to call them. We're going to replace all them. You know, it's time to do it while it's apart. You can get to all of them, and we'll get all them. They're not that much money. They're a little bit bigger than a small block. We got two at the back. It's got two brass ones at the back. You can see the brass on it. So, and it's got one on this side here. Looks like brass. Yeah, it's brass too. So it's got two brass ones in the back, but the rest of them look steel. That's kind of weird. Now it does have a brass one there. Got a brass one there. That's brass. Huh. That's weird. That's I don't know. There it is, 7.4 right there too. You can see it. Back up a little bit. Huh, maybe it does have brass core plugs in it. That one looks like it's steel on the other side. I don't know, it must be the paint, but yeah, I do want to do all that. Either way, I don't really care. Even if they are brass, they're going to come out. It's going to get refreshed, because you know, I don't want to put it in something and it just have leaks all over the place. This is the time to do it, and at the bare minimum, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to put a gasket kit in it, put new core plugs in it, and it's already got brass. And either way, I'm just going to replace them anyway, because I don't want to chance them leaking. And plus, I want to see if it's any trash or anything behind them plugs. And I'll see how bad the block is, because if it's really a lot of trash in it, and like corrosion and everything behind them plugs, then we'll break it down all the way, and we'll just take the block, and I'll take it up, and I'll have everything hot tanked, and then we'll just put it back together. But we're not going to the machine shop, because as long as this thing's got hardened exhaust seats in it, I'm not going to the machine shop. I'm not worried about the cam right now. It is a flat taplet cam, unfortunately. But I mean, the valley is, I mean, it's clean. It's clean. That dirt is just what come off this rag here. I mean, it's clean. But it is a flat taplet cam, so. But that's okay. And I just don't know if it's a 2-bolt or it's a 4-bolt main, and I still say it's a 2-bolt main. And the bad part, I'm probably going to say that, and it'll be a 2-bolt main. I really want it to be a 4-bolt main, but I don't care either way, because it's not a tall deck. And I know it sounds like me, you know, being crazy about it, because I'm just, you know, when you want something, you want something. And, you know, I want a 427 tall deck. And, you know, I've looked everywhere, but you can't find those anywhere. They're extremely hard to find. Everything's getting hard to find now. But, and then when you do find it, you're paying, you know, an arm and a leg and a hand and all that, you know. Sometimes a foot. You know, you're paying a crazy amount of money for it. But, Really excited about this. And I'm going to drop the oil pan on it. We'll find out, because I'm tired of wondering about it and I want to know. And I don't like to do that. I don't like opening stuff up, but it's got to come apart anyway. Because like I said, I'm not going to put it into something and just, have leaks like crazy. Now's the time to address everything and then put it in. And that way, kind of eliminate all the leaks. Not saying in a perfect world that's the way it should work, but anyway. So I'm going to take this. We're going to take it and we're not going to put it in the truck. As of now, not put it in the truck. I've said that for a long time because I really don't want to put it in there because it's not exactly what I want. Because I want a 427 tall deck and I'm still looking for one. And I'd rather just wait and put what I really want in here. And I'd love to put this thing in my F-150. That would be cool. And that's pretty much the same concept because I'm going to use a F-150 frame for this. And a 427 tall deck, turbo 400 transmission. And all that good stuff. We're going to make it straight full drive. It's just going to take a little time. But I don't want to put this in the truck. I'd like to. But I want to save this because I like to put this in the Biscayne. Because it's something different. And, you don't see a 59 Biscayne, a 4-door especially, that, run around with the 454 in it. And we're going to have a Saginaw 3-speed behind this. And it's going to be cool as heck. And I know you're probably wondering, like, oh man, he's going to be braking transmission and all that and blah, 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 I'm not, look, I'm not going to be rawhiding it and all that. I'm just building it to cruise. I want plenty of power, plenty of torque. And, that's all about, that's what this channel's about, taking it to the next level. So we just did. We took it to a 454. That's about the highest I can go, unless you go with the Cadillac engine or something like that. But so this is going to go in the Biscayne, and I made a couple videos about that. Like I said, I know it sounds a little crazy, but switching motors all over the place and all that. But that's why I love hot rod doing stuff like this. Being shade tree is I'm not trying to make my mind look all like it's all over the place, but I'd love to put this in the truck, but I don't have the frame mounts for it, and I don't have exhaust manifolds, and I really need exhaust manifolds for it, and especially since I really got it now, and I need a set of exhaust manifolds. It does have the 168.2 flex plate on it, and I know you got to watch because the balancer and the flex plate on these this is externally balanced engine here. So I hope it's the right flex plate. I don't see no weights on it. Maybe it's on the inside. Ooh, it ain't good. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's the weight. Yeah. So it is the correct flex plate. So that's good. Looks like a 168 tooth. Yeah, it's a 168 tooth because it's pretty big in diameter there. I don't know if I'd ever want to put a 10.5 inch clutch in a 153, the smaller diameter flywheel on a 454. It's a lot of torque with a clutch like that. I'd be scared. I don't know. I don't want to burn a clutch up. A lot of torque on a little small clutch. But yeah, I'm gonna try to get this thing, throw intake and distributor in it, throw a starter on it. You don't really need exhaust manifolds just to run it for a few seconds just to make sure it's okay. But I want to at least do that. Just make sure, verify everything's alright. And then it's a lot of money. It's a lot of hard working money. And I've been waiting, a long time on this. 7 months. And here we are. This is going into November now. And a long time. But we're gonna freshen it up. We're gonna throw a gasket kit in it. I got different valve covers for it. And matter of fact, let me grab them and see what they look like. There we go. That's better. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate them. I think you're after 5 auto. It's pretty good. I got an intake for it. It does have peanut ports, if you're wondering. It does have the peanut ports. So I got an oval port intake. I hope an oval port intake will work with them peanut port heads. I hope it's not going to be issues with that. I don't know. I don't think that would be. A lot of people say the rectangle ports are a lot better and all that for more flow and like top end power. That's what I've heard. But you know, we're not building it to drag race. We're just going to have a little fun with it and have a beast of a torque. But so yeah, I need exhaust manifolds. I have the intake for it. I got a distributor I should be able to use. I got to verify that it'll work in this. And I have to get a fuel pump for it, because I have to change that out. It's not a big deal. And you know, I like about a big block. The thing I like about that is you don't have a plate like you do on the small block. You just, you know, unbolt it from the block, and you got to worry about the plate and all that stuff. It's kind of nice. I like that. And look at this, man, it's got a lot of meat there. It's pretty thick. But we're just gonna get painted orange and all that, and we're gonna put it in our Biscayne. We're gonna put the Saginaw 3-speed behind it, and if these tall valve covers will work, that's what I want to run. And I want to find a dual quad intake. We're gonna make this dual quads, but find the right intake that can run that. But at the same time, it's all about appearance, not really performance. But you know, just trying to get the appearance of it. I want to find a dual quad intake, and if we got the clearance and all that, I'm gonna try and run these tall valve covers because they look cool. And man, I'm excited about this. Got our Jigs engine cradle. If you're wondering about that, that's a Jigs engine cradle, and got a pretty good deal on that. So that was awesome. I mean, I got that thing like in 2 days. The engine cradle came from Ohio. That was pretty awesome. And I got 5 of them engine cradles now. I got 3 of the Jigs ones like this, and then I have one, the red one. I think they're made in I want to say California or something like that. But you can tell this thing had the transmission cooling lines on it, because it's got some of the pieces for the transmission cooling lines. But they said it was in an RV. The fella said it was in an RV. And I don't know much about it. I know it's definitely been rebuilt, and he definitely told me that. I mean, it's been rebuilt, so it's definitely, you know, the head's been off of it. I don't know if it's been bored or anything like that. I hope it's not bored to the max and the crank's not turned to the max and all that. I don't really care about the crank, but you can get another crank for it. But I hope it's not bored to the max and all that, because it takes all the fun out of it, you know. But it's awesome. I'm just glad it's a 454. So that's what we got, and it won't be long. We're gonna pour. I know this sounds crazy, but we're pulling our 305 back out, and you know, it won't be right away. But the 305 is coming out, and then the 454 will be going in here. I'm just up in the air as to where. A leaf in the way. These towers for the frame for these motor mounts will work. These are V8 motor mounts, but they're small block, and I hope it doesn't have a bunch of issues with that. Now, I know the pattern is the same. I think the actual mounts that bolt to the block are the same from a small block to a big block. I'm just worried about these frame mounts being different. I'm hoping it'll work. I'm sure it will physically bolt up, but I'm just worried that you know, we're gonna have valve covers hitting the firewall and all that. I hope not. But I'm gonna do a little measuring here. I'm gonna see from the bolt pattern in the center of this lower bolt all the way to the close to the oil pan. I'm gonna see if this one from that point to the end of the block where the transmission bell hasn't bolted up. I'm gonna see if that's the same. If that's all the same, it shouldn't matter. But now I'm just worried about, you know, the height from how low or how high the center of it on this motor mount on your side mounts, and I hope it'll sit right. But I don't want to go through the trouble pulling everything out just to sit it in there. But this car, it's getting a 454. That would fit this car a lot more anyway, because this 305, I mean, it'd be good just to move it around. We're going to keep it in here for now anyway. I'm going to have a little fun with it. I want to make sure it runs good and all that. I mean, it's been run a few times, but it's only been running for like, 10 to 15 seconds. That's about it, because, obviously we don't have a radiator. But we're going to throw a radiator in, get up to operating temperature and all that good stuff, and tune it up, do all that good stuff, and we'll just run this for now until I get the 454 truly ready, and then we'll throw it in here. That's why I like doing stuff like this, because it makes it nice. We can still have fun with the car, and it ain't got to be down. I mean, it's technically down anyway, because obviously, you can't drive it, but it won't be technically down, because we can still, I like to be able to open the door up and fire anything I want up, not have to worry about it. It's like my pickup here. Open the door up, throw a key in it, fire it up anytime I want. And I want to keep this car the same way, and I want to keep going further on it, and I want to do the brakes on it. I need to get a set of wheels for it. I need 14x6s. I need 4 of them, because I want to keep 14x6s on here. We're not changing the drums or any of that stuff. We're keeping drum brakes on here. It's just too much money to put disc brakes on it. And this car, I'm just going to keep it all original, except for the motor and the transmission. I mean, the 3-speed, it's technically original, but it's not the correct 3-speed. Obviously the motor won't be, but we'll keep that much of original. Kind of kicked myself. I really wanted to put a 6-cylinder in here. I kind of kicked myself, because a good buddy of mine had a 6-cylinder last year. No, it might have been a little longer now, I can't remember, but it was in a pickup truck. I think I still got pictures of that thing. Yeah, I do. But I gotta figure out a way to post them pictures on here. It was a 256 cylinder, and it had the cast integrated intake. The intake manifold was basically cast into the cylinder head. It was all one, basically. So you kind of limited to what carburetor and different combinations you can run. But that was, I kind of kicked myself. I really wanted to get that and throw it in here just to keep it a 6-cylinder car, because it was originally. But yeah, we're going to keep moving forward on this, keep progressing on it, and I'm going to throw the radiator in it. I'm going to come in here. We got to change this radiator support. I'm trying to get this stuff done, and we're going to take a radiator support. That's got to come out. This ballast, that's got to come out. I'm going to try and straighten these out a little bit. I did this by accident with our Durango, and I was trying to rock it back and forth last winter, and I accidentally backed into the car. I did that. That really sucks, but it is what it is. Must have grew up just a little bit. Nothing too terrible, but I think it can be straightened. I'm gonna try and straighten that, but that really sucks, but it's not horrible when you look at it. But anyway, we'll try and straighten that. But change radiator support, change this ballast. I have that. I got this hood hinge plate here, got that. I don't have the horns that go on both sides. I got to get those yet, which that's stuff that really doesn't matter right now. I mean, it doesn't affect me from moving the car around. This stuff like the radiator support, the valves, that does. And I want to be able to get the hood, everything, get it open and shut like it's supposed to. Get this door, correct it so it opens and shut like it's supposed to. And then I got to come in here and finish up these floors, and I know it's rough, but we're just trying to patch them for now, just so we can move the car around. That's all I'm after. And I'm gonna finish cutting all this rod out, and surprisingly under the back seat's got a little rod on the passenger side over there, but I'm gonna get all the rod out of it and get some more sheet metal, and we're just gonna take and get some sheet metal screws, and we're just gonna screw it down and call it good for now. And that way it makes it nicer for now, because the floor's rotted anyway. I mean, it's not going to hurt nothing. It's not making it any worse. Actually, it's making it better because, got some salt there. So, we got to do the back, and it'll be nice. And then I might throw the front seat back in for now. And maybe, we'll see. And then I got to put the dash back in. I got to weld that in place. And we're just going to put it together enough to where we can just move the car around. That's all I'm after. And if we can get it close enough to where we can actually take it up down the road, that would be really awesome. But that's the plan for now. And we're going to do this right later on. I'm going to buy the correct floor pans, and I'll buy the one-piece floor and all that good stuff. But right now it's just out of the question. It's just way too much money right now. So we're just going to patch it for now. Do it the shade tree way. It's not going to hurt it. And call it good. That way the car will be structurally sound again. And the rocker panels are actually good on it. There's nothing wrong with the rockers. The inner and outer rockers actually, surprisingly, are there. And the kick panels, all that's still there. All that's structurally sound. The frame's perfect on this car. It's got surface rust, but it's perfect. This car is actually, surprisingly, it's structurally sound. It's just all the rod is it's just in the floor pans itself. So I'm gonna correct all that, and I gotta do the back. That way we can not have to worry about having a Fred Flintstone card anymore, and call it good. If anybody out there has one of these wiper pieces here, let me know. I need one for the passenger side, and please let me know. I've been looking all over the place. I need one for this car. This one I'm getting ready to pull out. It's got 3 bolts right here, and I'm gonna take, I can't get them out. I'm gonna take a grinder, just grind the head off and just get it off that way. But it's made out of that old pipe metal, and you know how that is. It's just really brittle. It breaks easy and all that. A lot of your distributor housings are made like that. But anyway, long story short, it needs one for that side. I need that because it's broke. So anyway, let me know. Drop a comment below if you got one, and let me know. You know, I'm happy to pay for it. I'll pay for shipping. Just be willing to ship it. That's all I ask. But let me know. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep moving forward on this car, and I have everything for it. I think I mentioned that before. I got the steering column. I got all new, you know, tie rods, everything from the steer rod all the way down. I have, and I got, like I said, I got a new drag link, new tie rods, the side rod sleeves, everything. The only thing I don't have is the upper lower ball joints, the bushings, just everything to do the control arms themselves. I have to get that yet, and I will get that a little later. But I do have a manual steering box for it, because we're just going to put manual steering and manual brakes on it. You know, we're not, this car is going to be bare bones. So it's basically is bare bones to begin with. We're just going to keep it bare bones. It's simpler, it saves money that way, and it gets the car that much, you know, quicker to being on the road. So it just makes it a lot simpler. But that's a shade tree way, and the poor man's way of doing it is just make our manual brakes and manual steering and call it good. Saves a lot of money and hassle that way. And it kind of frees up the engine bay too. But makes it nice. So that's what we got. And I'm excited about this. We'll find out. We'll have more videos on our 454. And I'm sorry it took so long, but it's just, you know, it's just been tight. It's just been tight. But, you know, I had it paid off. Been paid off for quite some time now. And here we are a few weeks later, and I finally got it home. But I really like to take that thing. I'm really tempted. I wish I had a tractor, because I would take that 454. I'd pull his 5-speed out of this thing, get it out of the way. And I would take that 454 and sit it in this 89 F-150. I want to do that so bad. And I want to take this body off this truck so bad and set my C10 body on this thing. But it's 2-wheel drive. That's what's keeping me from doing it. And I don't want to ruin this truck, because, you know, I got a bunch of parts for this. I want to get this back on the road too. But I'm so tempted to send that 454 in here. I want to do that. I really do, because I want to see what it looks like, how it's going to sit, and figure out what motor mounts and figure out what's what to make it work. And I want to see the oil pan and all that. And I really want to know. I really want to know. It's driving me crazy, because I'm doing the same thing on my C10, except we're doing the 4-wheel drive frame, obviously. And we're going to use a 427 tall deck. And I really want to see what that looks like. Might have to try that. But a lot of work. I ain't got a tractor. Now I feel like dragging a big block around back and forth. But enough, I drove that 305. I drug that thing all the way over there. I had to wheel that thing by hand. And this, let me show you here. Right here. And here we are. Had a 305 sitting in this thing. Now I wheeled that thing 300 foot all the way around, and just to put it away. And I did the same thing with our 283. Pulled that out and wheeled it all the way right in there. And that was only about 20 foot, so that's good. But you talk about a job, just a little 305. Had to go about 300 foot in a little wagon right here. It's already sketchy to get that thing out to sit in that 59 Biscayne. So I'm gonna get ready to do the same thing again. Take the 454, sit in here. I'm getting smart about it. I'm not using wheels. I'm gonna wheel that thing all the way around, and we're gonna put it away, because I don't want to put it in the Biscayne yet. I'm not ready for it. I don't even think the oil pan's gonna work. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, buddy? You excited? You excited about our 454? You excited? Nah, he don't care about that. He just wants food. Food! tail. Yeah, talking to the people. There you go. Talk to all the people. Yeah, I'm not quite sure if that oil pan's gonna work. It's kind of wide. It's kind of wide right there. I'm hoping it'll work in our Biscayne. I hope. Ain't got to worry about our steering linkage. All that's in front of our K-member, so that makes it nice. K-member, frame, cross member, whatever you want to call it. So I ain't got to worry about all the stinking all the steering linkage. I said stinking linkage. But ain't got to worry about that. So that makes that nice. And it's a little wide. I'm not very familiar with big blocks here, so probably wide anyway. It was an RV, so I'm hoping it'll work. I hope. I'm gonna measure this bolt hole down here, right here. Center one, lowest one, close to our oil pan here, and all the way back here. It's like the same distance. Hopefully it'll work. Somebody told me small block mounts, not the mounts that go to the block, but the actual mounts on the frame are the same. And you could take this big block, theoretically I should be able to take it and drop it in the C10 or my Biscayne and it should bolt right up. And you know, I just want to make sure the transmission placement and all that's in the right spot. It's not too far forward or too far back, and you know, it's, you know, not sitting crooked or, you know, any of that. It's the way it's supposed to sit. So be interesting. But can't wait. It's going in our Biscayne. That is official. It's going in there. And whenever we get our tall deck, the tall deck will go in that. And I have a F-150 frame. And I just don't want to take it all apart yet. Look, I bumped the camera. I'm sorry, folks. Bumped the camera. But I got an F-150 frame. And we're going to take this body off. I just don't want to do it yet and have everything in a million pieces. And that's set for 50 million years. And never get put together. And right away by the time it gets put together. I don't want to do that. So I want to, that's why I like to do things a certain way so we keep it on the road. And then when I truly am ready, then I do it. Because it makes it a lot easier that way. And that's why I want to keep that 305 and that Biscayne. I know I obviously can't drive the car. But it makes it nice like that because I can fire it up anytime I want. And not have to worry. Now I'm just going to make it move, make it stop, and all that good stuff. But it's going in there. And our TBI, our 94 TBI engine, is still at the machine shop. I got a little bit more money I got to pay on that. And I got to get the crank turned if they haven't did it already. I got to get the rods resized if they haven't did it already. You get the pistons. I do have the pistons. They're Keith Black pistons with just 2 valve reliefs. So that makes it nice. They're flat top pistons with 2 valve reliefs. Got to get them pressed onto the rods, and I got to get everything balanced, but not necessarily in that order. Actually, I had to get the crank turned, the rods resized, and then get it balanced. And then press on pistons. So, got to get all that done. They told me I got to get it balanced, and, you know, I'm going to get it balanced. You know, I'm going to make it right. I want it to be right. And still leaning towards a solid cam. Actually, I'm leaning heavily towards a solid cam. And that's what I'm going to probably end up putting in it, is a solid cam. Probably go with a Howard solid cam. It will be a roller. It's going to be a full roller. And this one's just our experiment Vortec roller motor here. So I'm trying to see what I'm going to run into with this. The only difference is I'm not running an old style top end. I'm technically running an old style top end, but it's 80s. It's not necessarily taking a 60s, a period correct top end and putting on a newer block like a Vortec or TBI. But close enough, same concept, but slightly different. So I'm gonna quit blabbing. I'm gonna get off here. Look, we're into almost an hour here. I had to edit some of this, and excited about this. Drop the oil pan. We got more videos coming on this. It's going in our Biscayne. Our tall deck will go in that, and put our 94 TBI engine in our 67 Chevelle. We're gonna have some fun. And I got a 302. I'm trying to find a 351 Windsor for my 89 F-150. And I have a 302 that's going to be for my 78. So that's going to be awesome. And then for soon, we got 2 more projects going on. The engine and the Durango is going to have to come out. Not right now, but later on. I'm not ready for that yet. We're going to pull the 5.9 Magnum out. and I want to get it overhauled. It's getting a lot of miles on it, getting to almost 200,000. It's time to overhaul it. It's just got a lot of leaks. The oil pan's leaking, the rear main's leaking a little bit, and it's just time to go through it. It needs to be gone through. I mean, it's 24 years old, so it's time to go through it. And then I want to pull the motor out of the Etzel, go through that as well, and just make it reliable. And I'll probably just throw a gasket kit in it, freshen it up, and call it good. And as long as there's nothing majorly wrong with it, and put it back in the car. Another reason it needs to come out is the coolant packet. The coolant, I said packages there, but coolant jackets are just so full of rust and corrosion and trash and everything else that I really don't even want to run it, because it's just going to put all that stuff through that radiator and running it all through it, and I just don't want to do that. So, plus we got to put new axle bearings and axle seals on the rear end. So, a shame, but we just did the brakes on it. All the brakes have been completely gone through, all the hardware and everything, but still can't drive it because I got to do the rear end. I'm going to do that next. And then I got to get a front end alignment done on it. And then I'm going to see if I can't flush some of that stuff out so we can keep driving it. And, but then again, we'll see, because I don't want to ruin the motor. But probably going to, I want to do that one. I want to pull that one out. But if it's really bad and the exhaust seats are really sunk and it's got a lot of slop in the valve guides, I'm probably going to end up rebuilding it, because I really don't want to it's not worth throwing together. It's just going, yeah, it won't leak oil and everything, but then it's going to burn it like crazy because it's just wore out. I want to put wore out junk back together. But, so that's where we're at. Excited. Hope y'all enjoy the video. I will see y'all later. 4:54.